Welcome back to Vaguely Adults. It's been a minute. Today's topic is actually pretty adulty. We're talking about voting and why you should do it. Midterms are coming up. That's a thing that I learned recently. Hopefully everyone who is eligible to vote is registered to vote. All the times to have done the registration have passed.
I'm registered to vote.
Now she's registered to vote.
I'm registered after 5 years of being able to. I finally registered to vote.
Yeah, fun fact, 6% of eligible citizens in the United States are not registered to vote, considering there's over 325 million people that live here.
So that makes it 19 million people who are not registered to vote that can be registered.
Yeah. So why have you never registered before?
So I've never registered before for many reasons. One being I was never taught in school anything about politics really. So I didn't know basically anything. I knew who was running for president because everyone knows that. You don't have to be from America to know who's running for president. But the gritty nitty details of things, I actually had no idea what they were until I got to college. And then that's when I started to learn, all the things that you're supposed to know already. So because I didn't know, I never bothered to register and I never bothered to vote. Because if I didn't know anything, then what was the point of me voting if I'm just going to be picking a random, yep, this one, that one, and that's it.
Yeah, apparently 39% of registered voters say that they are still not informed enough to make such a decision, and oftentimes they choose not to vote even though they can. The other thing is that some residents aren't able to vote. I've been a resident for quite some time now, and I recently found out, thanks to WashingtonLawHelp.org, that even if you do register, you risk being denied citizenship later on, and there's a possibility of deportation as well. This is from WashingtonLaw.org, so its credibility, I'm not 100%, but it is still something that people do think about, because I feel like if you're living in this country and you want your voice to be heard, it should be, and voting is one of those ways. But it still kind of sucks. You risk that,
It's sad on many levels. It's sad on my part because I live in America. I was born in America and I know nothing about the American system. The basics that everyone learns in school, but it's sad that in America we're not taught to the extent that we feel comfortable voting for something that is going to affect us in the immediate future. And the fact that we're kept so docile almost, so that we don't fight for what we believe is right, so that we don't vote for what we think should happen, it's ridiculous to me. And then you have people who are residents who have lived here their entire lives. Almost their entire life. 50%.
More than 50.
At least 50% of their entire lives in this country, but their voice cannot be heard simply because there's not a piece of paper that says they're a citizen here. But all the decisions that are made will affect them just as much as it'll affect us. So the fact that you voicing your opinion as a resident by voting, which is what America is based upon, can get you deported or can get you denied citizenship, it seems very not American.
The thing is, the system is so complicated, and I'm sure there's complications all across the board, no matter what country you're in and when you're trying to vote. But the fact that it's so complicated here and there's not enough information provided to us, you would think that it's something that should be taught in college or higher education, because people pursue these things to better themselves, better their environments, communities, and by default, the rest of the country. It's kind of ridiculous that there still isn't something in place for that. And I think that it is important, and what's really great is that the internet, although it's a scary place sometimes, is a really great resource, because without it, these movements for voter registrations wouldn't have happened. Like, the exposure that we have now is by far exceeding everything that we've had before.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know how to register to vote. Like, it sounds embarrassing. It feels embarrassing because I've lived in this country so long and I've been able to register to vote for 5 years now. But I didn't know how to register to vote.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I saw an Instagram post of somebody who, Mark Ruffalo, kept posting about, if you're eligible to vote, register, and he linked it on his profile, and I clicked the link, and that's how I registered to vote, because I didn't even freaking know how to do that.
Yeah.
It's also created an environment where you are almost ridiculed or like felt like you should be ashamed that you don't know how to vote or you don't know about politics, and it doesn't make you want to learn, because it puts you in a situation where you're like, well, I'm dumb for not knowing, so I'm just gonna pretend like I know, even though I have zero idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
And that's scary. Like, the fact that I can't just ask someone without feeling ashamed, like, this is a very important decision that I'm making. It is. And like, yeah, it doesn't seem like a big deal when it's like one person, but if each of these one people casted their vote, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. There is also an astounding amount of people that, according to Pew Research, a lot of these statistics that we got is from Pew Research, said that people just don't vote because they don't understand it. They're not informed enough. They didn't know how to register. There's a lot of little things that all tie down to the education of what the political system is, and there's a severe lack in that area specifically. So moving forward, if you can vote, if you're a citizen, exercise your right. I guess it's up to us to really do the research and to understand what options we have and what things are out there. So vote. It matters. You matter. Person next to you matters. If you want to protect them, vote for the things that will do so. And until we figure out how to make the system more understanding for everyone, we'll just have to do it ourselves. So with that being said, we just took the time to talk about this because we felt as though it was important, and more people should be talking about it to each other all the time. So until next time, stay hydrated, vote, and do good, I guess.
Time goes by playing truths and lies, and other games like Are They the Same? Fandoms and cults, things are just vaguely adult. Vaguely adult, things are just vaguely adult.